Hello everyone, I'm bringing you a video today which is sort of a follow-on from Mannequin of the Month. It looks at one specific element of kit from the kit that was carried on the mannequin, part of the respirator haversack contents, and that is the combo pen. And we're actually going to have a look at a couple of examples of basically the training aids which we use to train troops in the use of these. So the two examples we're looking at aren't real combo pens. They've never contained any drug and no needle, but they are otherwise mechanically identical, and they are otherwise the same as what would have been issued. But they're a training aid to allow troops to practice the drills for using these without actually administering any drug. And we're going to have a look at these in a bit of detail, talk about the drills. We're going to look at the two copies of Survive to Fight, one from the 1980s and one from 1990, to talk through the use of these. And as I say, we'll have a look in detail at each of these two designs of combo pen. So here we have the various items we're going to talk about. We have two copies of Survive to Fight, one from 1983 and one from 1990. That's edition 1 and edition 2. And we have two examples of the combo pen training devices. Now these are basically mechanically identical to the genuine combo pens which contain atropine. But in this case, they are training devices that don't contain a needle or any drug, as we'll see in a moment. And they were used basically to train for the drills required to use these, and obviously to make it muscle memory as much as possible, try and get men used to using these and using them routinely, obviously without actually injecting anything. So the first of these, or the earlier of these, is this example here, which is the training device auto-eject combo pen nerve agent antidote L3A1. And it's very important to note here, contains no drug, product or needle. So there is a tablet in here, but contains no drug product. And the combo pen itself contains no drug within here to be injected and no needle. It's a piece of plastic rod in there instead, which simply serves as something that sort of drives into the leg a bit and lets you know when this is actually fired. This has the NATO stock number here as well, as you can see, with the 99 UK national code in the centre there. And then there are some simple instructions on here, but this is covered in a lot more detail in Survive to Fight, and we're going to look at that in just a moment, but we'll have a look at them here. Remove the safety cap and retain. Place the black end on the thigh and press hard until injector functions. Count 5 slowly and withdraw. And then you have stage 3 is to flick the yellow cap off the grey safety and swallow tablet inside. So that's the tablet within here. If nerve agent poisoning symptoms persist, repeat dose at 15-minute intervals, maximum total dose 3 injections. And as you can see, this is made by Defar BV, Amsterdam, Holland, and they seem to have manufactured the genuine article as well, and also NAPS tablets, which we'll talk about very briefly. They're covered in the same task within Survive to Fight as details using the combo pen. So they manufactured both these and the NAPS tablets and the genuine combo pens with the drug and so forth in them for issue in as part of the NBC kit. So that's the earlier training device, the L3A1. We then have the L5A1 here, which is training device auto-eject combo pen nerve agent antidote L5A1. Again, you have contains no drug product or needle there, but you notice there's a difference in the NATO stock number, not only in the details of the number that shows that this is a different item, but also the national code in the centre there is no longer 99, it's 17, which is for the Netherlands, and this is again a product of the Netherlands, as you can see. It's identical to those produced for the Dutch Army, other than being English language. So it has the same, well, it has certainly the Dutch national code there in the centre, because it is a product of Holland and basically identical to those issued to the Dutch Army. So just an interesting detail there. Slightly simplified instructions. You're missing what was instruction 3 to take the tablet here, and so instruction 4 has become instruction 3. You've ended up with a 3-stage process rather than a 4-stage process detailed on the combo pen itself or the trainer itself. So simplified and an improvement in that regard. The earliest examples I've seen of these is the actual combo pens with the drug inside, the atropine inside, dated February of 1990, the earliest examples I've seen. And it seems these were used side by side in the Gulf. Of course, these would have been issued through the 1980s and then into the very early 90s. And then it seems in the Gulf there was a mix of the two. I've certainly heard from some soldiers, some veterans who were out there, certainly had the examples with the tablet in the cap, but there are known examples which were issued to military personnel and civilians, which were of the later design that didn't require the tablet, the modernized, modified design that we have here, represented by the training device here. So both types of these were used in the Gulf concurrently at the very end of the Cold War, of course. So, Survive to Fight. The first edition we have here dates from 1983, although certainly the date on the foreword here is June 1983, as you can see here. And we'll start off just very briefly looking at the list of kit, or the illustrations of the kit, which are shown at the start here. NBC kit and NBC individual protection equipment. And you can see here basically haversack contents laid out, and some other items as well, such as the boots and the suit and so forth, are shown down the centre there. NAPS tablets as well, of course. But over here on the left, you have the 3 Combopens, which would typically be carried. And these are, as you can clearly see, the examples with the cap for carrying a tablet in the safety cap there. We flick forward to Task 9. Task 9 deals with both NAPS tablets, which are a preventative medication to be taken when under threat of nerve agent attack. And then you have the immediate self-aid drill. I think we've skipped, there we go. This is it. This is the section, sorry, I'd skipped a little bit further ahead in Task 9 than I meant to there. The NAPS tablets are detailed here on the first page of Task 9, and then it moves on to the immediate self-aid drill, which deals with the use of the Combopen. So, as some people may be listening, I won't just sort of say you can pause and read this. I will run through it in some detail. Immediate self-aid drill. You are issued with 3 Combopens, and the maximum rate at which you may use them is 1 every 15 minutes. If the symptoms of nerve agent poisoning persist, after using all 3 devices, medical assistance will be necessary. The method of using the Combopen, which involves taking a diazepam tablet contained in the safety cap, is explained in the immediate self-aid drill. So I'll just interject briefly here. The drug contained within the injection is atropine. The drug within the tablet is diazepam. Remember, the drill is only carried out when you know you have been exposed to nerve agent because you are displaying the symptoms of nerve agent poisoning. The drill takes priority over all else apart from masking. 2 important points there. This is a treatment for those suffering from the symptoms of nerve agent poisoning. It's not a prophylactic. It shouldn't be taken as a preventative. It's for those suffering from the symptoms of nerve agent poisoning. And because of that, because it is an important thing to do if you are suffering from the symptoms of nerve agent poisoning, the only thing that's more important than this is masking up, basically. Step 1 is to remove the plastic cover by grasping the tabs formed by the V at the safety cap end and tear off. So these came in a plastic outer packaging which had a V notch in one end. That's basically common across all NBC kit. The detector paper, the decontamination kits all came in a plastic packaging, basically to prevent contamination, and that would have to be torn off in order to use them. So you'd have a V notch in one end of that plastic packaging, the cap end, and you could just use that to tear it in half basically and open it up that way. Pull off the grey safety cap and retain in the hand not used to inject the Combopen. So I'm going to remove that with one hand so I can hold up the book as well. And I will put this down rather than retaining it in the hand, but you would retain it in the hand not using the auto-injector. You have a plastic spigot in the centre there, which prevents the mechanism from firing when the safety cap is in place. So removing this means you can now operate the Combopen. Replace the black snout of the Combopen, which is this section here, of course, against the outer thigh muscle midway between the knee and the hip. Press hard until the injector functions. Count to 5 and withdraw. It does say on the device to count to 5 slowly. It just says to count to 5 in the drill here. But that, of course, is to allow the full dose of atropine to be injected into the body. If I operate this here, it doesn't move very much, but there's quite a powerful spring in there. And if you use this, I actually had an EpiPen. And I've used these quite a bit at school. Children were trained to use them. I had one and another child had one. And the actual mechanics of these is exactly the same as those injectors I had, and the training devices were exactly the same as these. And they do give you a bit of a jolt in the thigh. You can certainly tell that it's fired when it's fired by having this little plastic rod drive into your leg. And if you're holding it firmly, you certainly feel that. So that's how the training device operates. It just fires out this little plastic rod to give you the sensation that it has fired, and you can certainly feel it when you do that. Decontaminate the cans and the grey safety cap and loosen the draw cord. So obviously, if you were using this in your right hand, you would have retained that in the left, let's say. Now you can take hold of this, having set the combo pen down, take hold of this, and you would decontaminate it. And this would be done using the decontamination kit, and of course that contains pads impregnated with Fuller's Earth. You would decontaminate the hands, the gloves, that is, and the grey safety cap, which we have here. You would then loosen the draw cord, and what this is referring to is the draw cord at the neck of the MBC suit. Remove the yellow cap from the grey safety cap, and I will do that in just a second. And you would then take the tablet. So I'll just show you in here, because it is quite stiff, and I'm doing this with one hand, I risk losing the tablet. You can see here there's a spigot inside there to stop the tablet rattling around too much. There is a little tablet in there, as you can see, and rather than being handled, this would be simply tipped out of the cap straight into the mouth, as we'll just read now. So that's the tablet in the cap there, and how it would be removed. Take a few deep breaths and steady the breathing. Hold the last one. Grasp the respirator outlet valve and pull the facepiece away and upwards from the face to give access to the mouth. Place the small open end of the safety cap to the mouth and shake the tablet into the mouth and swallow it. Replace the respirator, blow out hard, and this is of course to drive out any contaminated air from the respirator. Adjust the hood of the smock, replace the spent combo pen in the haversack. So the final thing of course is to pop the safety cap back on, and this would be popped back in the compartment in the haversack for that purpose that's designed for carrying these. And then we've got a final section here on things to look for in terms of atropine poisoning or atropine overdose. You must be able to recognise the symptoms of atropine poisoning to avoid continuing self-aid treatment where your body has already absorbed too much atropine. Continuing to inject with the combo pen in such a situation may cause you or the person to whom you are giving aid to become a casualty. The symptoms of atropine poisoning are as follows: rapid pulse over 100, a very dry mouth and throat, dry hot skin, large pupils, opposite to those of nerve agent poisoning, which of course creates contracted small pupils. And then there are practice notes here. Read the study notes. Learn the drill for taking NAPS tablets in a chemically contaminated environment, which obviously were the very first part of task 9, which we didn't really cover, not what we're interested in here, but that is part of the practice, of course, for task 9. And then practice the immediate self-aid drill. A training version of the combo pen is available on units, which is what we have here and what we're looking at. If you cannot obtain one, practice the drill with a biro. Memorize the symptoms of atropine poisoning. So that's task 9 covered in the first edition of Survive to Fight. Now, one thing I'll just mention before we move on to the second edition of Survive to Fight. Obviously, the training device, you want to be able to reuse these over and over. There is in fact a reset tool, and alongside the central hole for the safety cap spigot there, this has 2 little studs that go into the side holes. If you press this down really firmly with the thumb, you can then press this down on a hard surface and reset the pen. I don't have anything to do that with here, but I will just come off to the side and you may hear the clunk as I do this, if I can find a nice, there we go, solid surface to do that on. And I've just reset that training device. So that's the little reset tool. It has these 2 little spigots in it there, as you can see. You can then pop the safety cap back on, if I can line that up there, and you're ready to repeat the training ad nauseum until it becomes muscle memory, basically. I think that would be the idea, certainly with handling the tablet and so forth. I imagine in under stress it'd be quite easy to fumble that, and you'd want to be well practiced at dealing with it. So we'll just have a look through here. This is the edition 2, of course, and task 1 again deals with protective equipment. You've got the suit and everything illustrated there. But then if we move on to the second page of that, we have the contents of the haversack here. And this is the DKP1 I mentioned, which has the Fuller's Earth pads in it, Fuller's Earth impregnated pads you would use for decontamination. And you can see that's shown in plastic packaging. But down here we have the combo pen, still illustrated as being the type with the tablet in the cap. And you have the NAPS tablets next to those, as you can see. Again, if we flick through to task 9, and I will run through this in full again, just for interest's sake. The first part of task 9 up to here deals with the NAPS tablets. So this is the pre-treatment and self-aid of nerve agent poisoning. So the NAPS tablets are dealt with first, as you can see in the first section there. Then we have the immediate self-aid drill for the use of the Combopens. So we'll have a look at this. You will be issued 2 or 3 Combopens, but you must not use more than one every 15 minutes, so that warning is repeated here. If the symptoms of nerve agent poisoning persist after using the last Combopen, further treatment will be given by the medical services. The drill, which is only to be carried out when you know you have been exposed to nerve agent from the symptoms you display, is as below. The drill has priority over everything but masking. So once again, that warning there that this is for those suffering with nerve agent poisoning symptoms, and that it takes precedent over everything apart from the task of masking. Again, we start with removing the plastic cover from the Combopen by tearing the tabs formed by the V at the safety cap end, so removing that outer plastic packaging. Pull the grey safety cap off the Combopen and retain in the hand you are not going to use to make the injection, as we saw before. Place the black snout of the Combopen against the outer thigh muscle midway between the knee and hip, making sure that it is clear of anything in the trouser pocket, and press hard until the injector functions. Count to 5 slowly, then withdraw. So we both have a warning about obstructions here in the trouser pocket, and also you count to 5 slowly. So that's been, as per the instructions on the pen itself, slowly has been added in here when it tells you to count to 5. So another detail that's been added in there, as well as the warning about obstructions in the pocket. You then have the instruction again to decontaminate the hands and decontaminate the grey safety cap. Loosen the neck fastening. So slightly more specific but wider ranging there. The neck fastening on NBC suits could be a draw cord or could be elastic at this time. So that's a nice sort of covers both of those. Slight modification to the wording compared to edition 1. We're now in 1990, of course, with edition 2. Remove the yellow top carefully from the grey safety cap, keeping the cap vertical. So a bit more detail there about keeping it vertical so you're not losing the tablet. Take a few deep breaths, hold the last one. Grasp respirator PSM, so talking about the S10 here, so PSM is the nomenclature for the exhale valve of the respirator. Pull the facepiece away from the face and upward, just far enough to give access to the mouth. Place the small open end of the safety cap to the mouth, shake the tablet into the mouth and put it under your tongue. So not immediately swallowing the tablet in this instance, which was not included in the instructions in edition 1. Replace the respirator, blow out hard, continue normal breathing, and then swallow the tablet. So slight change to the instructions there. Adjust the hood and restore the neck seal. Replace the Combopen in the haversack, bending the needle on any hard surface to make it fit. So obviously an issue noted there that's been included in the instructions with the needle extended. It wouldn't necessarily fit in the haversack, so bend the needle over to allow for that. And then you have the practice here. Learn when to take naps. Practice the drill for making naps in taking naps in a vapor hazard. Practice the immediate self-aid drill. A training version of the Combopen is available. And learn the symptoms of atropine poisoning. An important addition here, the Combopen is being replaced in the near future. The drill remains the same, except that there is no tablet to take, and that is what we have here. The training device is the L5A1, but if the actual Combopen is the L4A1, the genuine examples containing the drug. But this training device works in exactly the same way as we saw with the other one, which I will just quickly demonstrate now. And obviously you just remove the whole part of the drill involved in taking the tablet, and that's detailed here in the 3 steps on the pen. Remove the safety cap, place against the outer thighs we were instructed in the drill there, and then operate. And again, doesn't extend very far, but just enough to sort of drive into the thigh and let you know it has fired. With these training devices, hold it there for a slow count of 5, and then remove. You would then place this back in the haversack, bending over the needle of the real examples if need be, according to the 1990 drill in Survive to Fight. And as I say, I believe these were both in use during the Gulf War. It was sort of transitional era then, where the new examples come into use, but the older type was still around still being issued. So I do hope you found it interesting looking at this. Obviously just looking at the training aids here and survive to fight, but hopefully it's been interesting looking at the details of these and their use according to the drills at the time. Certainly I thought it was a worthwhile following on with this. It sort of jogged my memory that it's not a topic that's been covered on the channel previously when talking through the haversack contents when making Mannequin of the Month, so it sort of inspired me to make this video. So I do hope it's been of interest. If you have found it interesting and you'd like to see more of this sort of thing, please do consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. And whether you're newly subscribing or you've previously subscribed, please do make sure you hit the little bell, the notification button down below. That will of course alert you when I upload future videos. If you really like my uploads and would like to support the channel, you can. Both Patreon and PayPal are linked down below in the description. And a huge thank you, as always, to everybody who supports the channel using those two methods. It really is greatly appreciated. Thank you all very much indeed. If you'd like to follow the channel on social media, you can. Facebook, Instagram and Twitter are all linked down below. And if you'd like to get in touch with me but you don't really use social media, there is of course an email address down there as well. That's everything for this video. So until next time, bye for now.